Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my God Hand hard mode fun run. This is stage 2-1. It is demons playing with fire. And guess what Daddy Seraphim's done today? He's found out that, you know, the 3 hours of torture that he had against Elvis because he kept making stupid bullshit mistakes? He's accidentally deleted the Elvis fight, so that 3 hours was for naught, and he's got to fight him again. Oh, the bile in my throat. It's not good. But I don't know what's worse, the fact I've got to get back to him. Oh no! It's going to take me so long. Anyhow, this is stage 2-1, guys. We're introduced to a bunch of new enemies here. There's a woman enemy, and she's a bitch. I don't say that because I don't like women. I say that because I don't like women in God Hand. And you won't like them either when you fight them because they're very dangerous. They've got some horrifying moves, and if they're carrying a whip, they deserve full prejudice because they're just fluent cunts with whips. I hate the whip in this game. I think it's one of the worst aspects of it. I think it should be droppable and usable so I can give it back to the assholes who keep giving it me. But unfortunately you can't. It's such a pain in the dick. And then we have an upgraded... I think this is a standard Moog guy. I think this is just an upgraded version of the brown dudes. He kinda has tendencies that make him look like maybe he's an elite. Like he's got massive life, he's got big combos and all the fancy stuff. But I'm not entirely sure. He's kind of like a hybrid of the two. And he's very good at countering at the moment. But I've never struggled with this enemy. The purple and yellow dudes, they'll kick my ass for days. But I never struggled with this guy for some reason. Minus the whole he throws his hair every so often and then he gets it back. Which I've never really grasped either. I don't know what it is. He must be some special elite variant. And his kick combo is way more complicated than the pink dudes. But I just... Answers on a postcard, guys. I don't really know too much about this fella. Other than he does wear some fantastic leopard print. So you've got to give him props for that. And he's about to get suplexed, so let's put him down. And then he drops a key, which is nice. And then I'm going to go back and fight the one dude. I'm going to miss a guy on this level as well. There's a fat dude with samurai blades, so I'm not very confident in fighting. And because there's no checkpoint, I didn't want to have to do all of this again. So you're going to see me run to the exit. And I also miss a technique called the Fist of Justice, which... If I'd have realised this is where you get the Fist of Justice, I would have not skipped the dude. But the problem with this run is, as I've mentioned, you have these runs you think that are good, where you're looking pretty confident, you're doing fun moves, you're doing cool combat, and then you get hit. Or if you don't get hit, you're so scared of being hit that you start playing like shit, or you start playing super tentatively, or you run away like I just did. And it doesn't lead to great gameplay. So I think if I do a future run like this, I'm going to save state up the arse. I'm going to save state between fights, I think, so I can just get the most ridiculous things. Like, I want to get fights where I take on a group as big as this with demons. I want to get really stupid shit that you just wouldn't want to do. And the problem is, I mean, we're kind of in that right now, but I've got God Hand, which makes it okay. But once again, the issue here is you can have the sexiest looking fight, because this is looking pretty fun so far, and then you take a hit and then nobody gets to see it. And it's unfortunate. But if you're a new player, demons pacify enemies, but they don't make them completely neutered, so they will still hit you if you get too close, like that guy tried. God bless the iframes. Here comes the blade demon. He's teleporting. Demons are kind of predictable, but they can still be dangerous. They will teleport around, and then they will teleport close. They will do generally 2 hits, or whatever their bread and butter combo is. They will always try and counter hit you if you hit them. They are incredibly quick, so a lot of the times they'll catch you off guard by their speed. The Blade Demon is unique because he has this flying ability. Do not challenge that flying move. That spinning attack is one of the hardest things to counter hit in the game. I don't know if I've ever done it. It's probably doable, but it's so incredibly tight and dangerous that I never recommend you try unless you want to get really good at Blade Demons. And you want to show off, basically. But if you ever punch this guy, and he guard breaks you, where when you do a punch when they're blocking, that isn't a guard break, they kind of spread your arms, they do like a... They put you in a bit of block stun or hit stun, whatever you want to call it. Or maybe a guard crush, I'm not too sure what you would call it. You're vulnerable then, and they will always immediately do a fast swipe. See if we can see. Oh, he's just died. But you saw it in that fight. I was punching him without doing a guard breaker. He knocked me back a little bit, and then he did the big hook, and I ducked it. Whenever you get knocked back by that guard move, it's kind of like a push block if you've ever played Marvel vs. Capcom. You can cancel it with the duck. You can cancel so many things in this game. You can cancel roulette recovery. You can cancel pummel recovery. Any move that puts Gene into an animation, try to cancel it. If you cancel it, you can often lead yourself to new opportunities and new attacks that wouldn't work before, but suddenly now they do. You'll also notice we've traded out the high side kick for the high kick, and it's a little different, and it's different in some good ways. It does 16 damage as opposed to 10 that we're on at the moment, and it's also slower. And you might think, well, slower is not good in God Hand, is it? Because I'll get hit. But sometimes, occasionally, slower is really good, because a lot of enemies have fast attacks, but they delay them before they do it. So when you have something like the high kick, when you go to do it and you think they're going to attack and you make that read to try and counter hit them, if you use the high side kick, it's so fast you probably won't hit them at the sweet spot. But with the high kick, because there's that delay, you probably get it really close. And the amount of counter hits I get with this kick, just because it's a little slower than the other one, means it's really fun to use. And it also looks kind of awesome. I love the hip tilt that he does. He gets all that torque into the kick. I'm a big fan of it. Additionally, you can cancel it against the wall, just like the high side kick, and you can do 16 damage each hit, so it's one of the most powerful cancelable moves if you want to use it that way. And this spawns people, and this is me panicking right now because I forgot about this. I thought I was done, and I've just got a really cool fight, and I'm really worried that there's no checkpoint, so I'm going to pop my God Hand, and I'm going to proceed to launch, do a couple of shoryus, do a nice kick, and of course, if you hadn't guessed it, oh yes, ma'am kablam, love it, I'm going to get a demon. And I was saying to myself before I started this, demons are going to fuck this up because I'm not good enough against them, and they can come at seemingly any time. So I was going to save state every demon, and I was going to be 100% honest at the beginning of the walkthrough that I was going to do that, and then I ended up not doing it, and it's caused a lot of frustration. But I also think I've got better at the demons. So, as much as I wanted to save state just then, that's why I paused, I think, because I was going to do it. I chose not to. And that doesn't mean that I'll change that in the future. I might very well do that like I did with Conchita, because this project is less about me being able to do this, because I can do this. I know I can, and I've proven. It's just, can I do it with something worth watching? Because I've said that this is a run rather than a guide, or rather than, you know, something that's clinical like that, and I want it to be fun. There's the stomp to finish the demon. That's a rarity. You might wonder why I never do the stomp. It's because on level die, the enemies can roll out of it and you are not invincible when you do it. So it's one of the only pummel moves, or one of the only prompts, that's not worthwhile, because it generally puts you in more danger than it lets you up on. But it all depends on how I feel, I guess, guys. Like, there's a couple of moments where I think if I get something really crazy that needs to be in this, I will save state. But aside from that, I'm trying to keep it as close to the game's checkpoints as I can. The only other extenuating circumstances are the fairy challenges. The fairy challenge is a checkpoint, so that is my free save state, which I'm going to use. But it has to be near where the fairy is, and the difference here is I don't go inside the challenge. But aside from that, it's just the checkpoints, so I'm trying to make it as close to the actual game as I can. And this will no doubt lead to some people accusing me of cheating and accusing me of certain things, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to impress people. I'm not trying to show that I'm the best God Hand player, because I'm not. I'm just trying to have some fun with this game and bring you along with it, which hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully looking forward to the next video. Hopefully re-recording Elvis 1 doesn't take me 20 fucking hours. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.